What if I told you that some of the most mind-blowing sci-fi films of the 2000s were buried, left to gather dust? These cinematic masterpieces slipped under the radar, unnoticed and ignored by the masses, until now. Why were they forgotten? What happened behind the scenes? In the next few minutes, we'll expose the shocking truths about these films that were unforgivably overlooked. Stick around because what you discover will change how you see sci-fi forever. Starship Troopers 3, Marauder, 2008. The Starship Troopers franchise was never known for playing it safe, but Marauder took things even further with its satirical, action-packed approach to fascism, militarism, and the absurdity of war. Released in 2008, the third installment takes viewers back to a chaotic future where soldiers, once again, must battle against massive alien insects. While the film might not boast the same budget or star power as its predecessors, it more than makes up for it with over-the-top action and bold political commentary. Yet despite its nods to the series' signature satirical tone, it flew under the radar, largely forgotten in the shadow of larger Hollywood blockbusters. But don't be fooled, it's got more layers than it appears, offering sharp commentary about government control, propaganda, and the eternal struggle of the working class. In an era where military might and mindless conformity often dominate the screen, Marauder remains an edgy, underappreciated gem. Did it deserve more attention? Absolutely. But with its unapologetically low-budget, independent nature, it was doomed to be overlooked. An unjust victim of Hollywood's need for bigger spectacles and louder explosions. Still, its biting humor and political edge should make any sci-fi fan think twice. A Scanner Darkly, 2006. Total. In 2006, Richard Linklater took a leap into uncharted territory with A Scanner Darkly, a visually groundbreaking adaptation of Philip K. Dick's mind-bending novel. Using rotoscope animation, this dystopian tale takes viewers deep into the world of surveillance, addiction, and fractured identity. The film follows Bob Arctor, a man caught in a drug-induced haze while trying to maintain his secret life as an undercover agent. Its exploration of the blurred lines between reality and illusion mirrors Dick's most complex works, yet it was a film that was criminally overlooked by the general audience. Critics loved it, praising its animation style, but the broader appeal never materialized, with many viewers unable to connect with the surreal, often disorienting narrative. A Scanner Darkly holds a unique place in the sci-fi landscape, offering a chilling, contemplative take on the consequences of overreach and the dehumanizing effects of technology. But the style and tone proved too ahead of its time for many, leaving it stranded as a cult favorite rather than a mainstream sensation. It's the kind of film that demands multiple viewings to fully appreciate its layers, making it one of those masterpieces that slips through the cracks and deserves far more recognition than it ever received. The Signal, 2007. The Signal is a dark, apocalyptic sci-fi horror film that stands apart for its boundary-pushing storytelling and chaotic, satirical edge. The film is split into 3 segments, each directed by a different filmmaker, which adds to its unpredictable, fragmented nature. The plot centers around a mysterious broadcast that turns people into violent, uncontrollable monsters, setting off a chain of events that leads to society's breakdown. Blending horror, sci-fi, and social commentary, The Signal offers a chilling and original vision of how technology can spiral out of control and ignite chaos. Despite its innovative narrative and gritty, independent look, the film never garnered the recognition it deserved, largely overshadowed by bigger, more polished productions of the time. The low-budget aesthetic and fragmented structure made it a difficult watch for mainstream audiences, while its blend of horror with deeper, philosophical themes left some viewers uncertain of its purpose. However, for fans of twisted, thought-provoking horror, The Signal is a hidden gem. It's more than just a survival horror, it's a reflection on human nature, violence, and the dangers of unchecked technology. The chaotic tone and narrative style mirror the very breakdown of society the film portrays, leaving it a uniquely unsettling experience. Though largely ignored upon release, The Signal deserves a second look for its fresh take on the apocalyptic genre and its ability to disturb, entertain, and provoke thought. Dark City, 1998.
Play, dance with me, make me.
Dark City is one of the most visually stunning and conceptually unique sci-fi films of its era, but it remains tragically underappreciated. Directed by Alex Proyas, the film takes place in a city where reality is constantly manipulated by a group of mysterious beings known as the Strangers, who have the ability to alter memories and reshape the environment at will. The film dives deep into themes of free will, identity, and the search for truth in a world that constantly shifts around you. Despite its critical success and its mind-bending narrative, Dark City struggled to find its audience, which offered a similar blend of philosophy and visual spectacle, but with a more mainstream appeal. What sets Dark City apart is not only its intricate and philosophical storyline, but also its striking visual design. The city itself, filled with constant rain, decaying skyscrapers, and eerie streets, creates an atmosphere that feels like a world trapped in time, forever changing, forever unsettling. And the stellar cast, including Rufus Sewell, Jennifer Connelly, and Kiefer Sutherland, delivers powerful performances that heighten the film's tension and mystery. Yet its slow burn pacing and complex themes made it a tough sell for audiences looking for more action-driven sci-fi. Despite this, Dark City remains a captivating hidden treasure, offering a mesmerizing blend of psychological thriller and dystopian sci-fi that deserves far more recognition than it ever received. Children of Men, 2006.
He was killed in the ensuing brawl. The fan was later beaten to death by the angry crowd.
Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men, released in 2006, presents a hauntingly realistic vision of a world on the brink of collapse due to infertility. The film follows Theo, a disillusioned man tasked with protecting a pregnant woman, the first to conceive in years amid rising chaos. Combining thrilling action with deep social commentary, Children of Men is a masterpiece of visual storytelling, including long, uninterrupted, single-take sequences that heighten its intensity. However, despite its brilliance, the film was overlooked by many when it was first released, overshadowed by more mainstream offerings. Its bleak themes, including violence, societal decay, and the collapse of hope, may have alienated viewers seeking more optimistic fare. Yet, Children of Men resonates on a deeper level, exploring human resilience and hope in a world seemingly beyond saving. Its chilling portrayal of a dystopian future, along with its exploration of contemporary issues like political instability, climate change, and refugee crises, makes it an eerily prescient film. Though it initially flew under the radar, Children of Men has since become a cult classic, often cited as one of the best dystopian films of the 21st century. Its timely, deeply human message continues to resonate, cementing its place as a groundbreaking film. Sunshine, 2007.
Alright,
Before
I
you
should
say
have let you
anything,
go
just
first.
Kappa, it's me. I'm the one apologizing, all right?
Danny Boyle's Sunshine is a visually breathtaking and emotionally intense sci-fi film that explores humanity's final mission to save Earth. In the not-so-distant future, the sun is dying, and a crew of astronauts embarks on a desperate journey to reignite it with a massive bomb. As they venture deeper into space, they face not only the immense psychological toll of their mission, but also disturbing events that threaten to unravel their fragile unity. Sunshine blends the vastness of space exploration with an intimate psychological drama, exploring themes of survival, sacrifice, and the destructive consequences of human ambition. The film's haunting soundtrack by John Murphy adds to the emotional depth, amplifying the tension and sense of hopelessness the crew feels. Despite receiving praise for its cinematography and ambitious storytelling, Sunshine struggled to find an audience, overshadowed by larger, more action-packed sci-fi blockbusters. Its emotional weight and slow-burn pacing, combined with its turn toward horror in the latter half, made it a difficult film for mainstream audiences. Yet Sunshine stands out for its intellectual depth and character-driven storytelling. Over time, the film has earned a cult following, with many considering it a hidden gem for its thought-provoking exploration of human nature and its unforgettable, visually striking experience. The Prestige, 2006. Christopher Nolan's The Prestige is an intricate, mind-bending exploration of rivalry, obsession, and deception. Set in the late 19th century, the film follows two magicians, played by Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, whose intense competition leads them down dark paths of betrayal and sacrifice. Nolan, known for his non-linear storytelling, creates a narrative that twists and turns, challenging the audience's perception of reality. The film is a masterclass in psychological tension, with a plot that forces viewers to reconsider everything they've seen by the end. Despite its brilliance, The Prestige was often overshadowed by The Dark Knight, which would release just 2 years later. This overshadowing did a disservice to The Prestige, which is arguably one of Nolan's best films. The performances by Bale and Jackman are nothing short of mesmerizing, with both actors portraying complex characters whose desperation to outdo each other becomes their undoing. The film's exploration of identity, sacrifice, and the lengths to which people will go for fame resonates deeply, especially when paired with its stunning visual effects and atmosphere. What makes The Prestige even more remarkable is how it examines the cost of ambition in a world that prizes illusion and spectacle. It's a film that rewards careful attention, yet despite being critically acclaimed, it never reached the same cultural impact as Nolan's later work. For those who haven't seen it, The Prestige is a film that's well worth revisiting, as its layers and twists make it a timeless, often overlooked masterpiece. Cloud Atlas, 2012.
Этот голос шепчет.
The Wachowskis' Cloud Atlas is a visually ambitious, multi-layered narrative that weaves together 6 distinct stories across time and space. With an ensemble cast featuring Tom Hanks, Halle Berry, and Hugh Grant, the film explores how actions and consequences echo through time, shaping the destinies of individuals and societies alike. It's a narrative tapestry that spans hundreds of years, from the 19th century to a post-apocalyptic future, offering a meditation on human nature, love, and interconnectedness. While Cloud Atlas was praised for its audacity and scope, it received a mixed reception from critics and audiences alike, with some questioning its narrative complexity and tonal shifts. Its ambitious structure, in which the same actors portray different characters across various timelines, requires the viewer's full attention and a willingness to embrace its abstract storytelling. What sets the film apart is its heart. Despite its sometimes fragmented structure, it's ultimately about the enduring nature of the human spirit, the power of empathy, and how individual choices ripple through history. The visual effects are stunning, especially as they capture both the beauty and destruction of the worlds within each timeline. Though Cloud Atlas didn't achieve mainstream success, it has become a cult favorite over time, admired for its bold ambition and thought-provoking themes. It's a challenging but rewarding watch that highlights the Wachowskis' knack for creating emotionally powerful sci-fi with philosophical depth. If you're willing to dive into its complexities, Cloud Atlas offers a deeply enriching experience. Serenity, 2005.
Are dangers on the outer planets. So with so many social and medical advancements,
Based on Joss Whedon's cult TV series Firefly, Serenity is a space western adventure that blends sci-fi action with witty, character-driven storytelling. The film picks up where the series left off, following the ragtag crew of the spaceship Serenity as they navigate dangerous political intrigue while trying to protect a mysterious passenger, River Tam, who holds the key to a dark government conspiracy. Though Firefly had a passionate fan base, its cancellation after just 1 season left many storylines unresolved, and Serenity was created as a way to give closure to the series. Despite the devoted following of Firefly fans, Serenity struggled to gain mainstream traction, missing the massive box office success that other sci-fi epics of its time enjoyed. However, Its strength lies in the unique blend of humor, heart, and high-stakes action, with standout performances by Nathan Fillion and Summer Glau. Whedon's sharp dialogue and character dynamics are the heart of the film, as the crew's camaraderie and personal histories drive the emotional core of the story. Though Serenity didn't make a huge impact in theaters, it became a beloved cult classic, with fans celebrating the film's ability to tie up loose ends, its exploration of freedom and survival, and its witty and layered characters. In the end, Serenity remains an underappreciated gem that deserves more recognition as a perfect example of how a passionate fan base can create a lasting legacy. The Nines, 2007. Ryan Reynolds stars in The Nines, a meta-sci-fi thriller released in 2007, which explores the concepts of identity, reality, and free will. The film is divided into 3 interconnected narratives, each following Reynolds as a different character: an actor, a television writer, and a man struggling with his identity. As the story unfolds, the boundaries between these characters begin to blur, leading the audience into a labyrinth of existential questions. The Nines takes a complex, abstract approach to storytelling, with themes of self-discovery and the nature of existence at its core. The film's unconventional structure and its metaphysical narrative might have been challenging for mainstream audiences, which is likely why it didn't find the success it deserved. However, The Nines is a unique film that rewards those who are willing to dig deeper. Reynolds gives a surprisingly nuanced performance, capturing the vulnerability and confusion of a man who is forced to confront his own fractured sense of self. What's compelling about The Nines is that it constantly pushes the boundaries of reality, questioning whether we control our own fate or if our lives are scripted by forces beyond our comprehension. It's a film that invites multiple interpretations, and while it might not have resonated with everyone, it's a thought-provoking experience for those who enjoy films that delve into the complexities of identity and reality. It may have been forgotten by many, but The Nines remains an intriguing exploration of the self, deserving of more attention and discussion. The Adjustment Bureau, 2011.
Последние 8 лет Дэвид Норрис представлял Бруклин.
In 2011, The Adjustment Bureau offered an intriguing blend of romance and sci-fi, based on a short story by Philip K. Dick. Starring Matt Damon and Emily Blunt, the film explores the concept of free will versus fate as a politician discovers that unseen forces are manipulating the course of his life to keep him on a predetermined path. When he meets a dancer whom he's not supposed to be with, he must decide whether to fight for his love or succumb to the controlling forces of the mysterious Adjustment Bureau. The premise alone is captivating. What if our every move was dictated by invisible forces? But despite its strong concept, the film didn't quite break through to a broad audience. It was a critical success but didn't achieve the cultural impact it might have had with a more ambitious marketing strategy or a stronger genre focus. Perhaps the blending of romantic drama and mind-bending sci-fi led to some confusion about its true nature. Still, The Adjustment Bureau is a film worth revisiting for its deep philosophical questions about fate, destiny, and choice. Damon and Blunt have undeniable chemistry, and the film's slick, stylish direction from George Nolfi gives it an air of mystery that draws the audience in. The idea of a hidden bureaucracy controlling people's lives may sound like a conspiracy theorist's dream, but the film explores it with a sense of romantic urgency and tension that elevates the concept. Ultimately, The Adjustment Bureau deserves more recognition for its intelligent premise and thought-provoking approach to free will. Primer, 2004.
Ni siquiera podría considerarse nuevo, excepto en un sentido.
Primer, released in 2004, is the ultimate hidden gem of the sci-fi world, an incredibly complex, low-budget time travel thriller that requires a serious commitment from its viewers. Written, directed, and starring Shane Carruth, Primer is known for its intricate narrative that makes Inception look like a walk in the park. The film follows 2 engineers who accidentally invent a time machine and quickly discover the dangers of tampering with time. Its sheer complexity, packed with dense scientific jargon and a non-linear narrative, turned off many mainstream viewers, leaving it to be discovered mostly by die-hard sci-fi fans and those willing to dive into its labyrinthine plot. Despite being produced for a mere $7,000, Primer became a critical darling for its astonishingly realistic approach to time travel. Focusing more on the psychological and ethical implications rather than flashy visuals or grandiose set pieces. The film demands full attention and multiple viewings to even begin to grasp its full meaning, and even then, it leaves viewers with more questions than answers. Primer is a film that challenges the very nature of cinema itself, forcing the audience to engage with its narrative actively. While it was largely ignored by general audiences, Primer has since gained a cult following and remains one of the most talked about sci-fi films for its cerebral and challenging approach. Its complexity and technical realism are a major part of its charm, offering a unique take on the time travel genre that many will find exhilarating, if they can crack its code. Moon, 2009. Duncan Jones's Moon, released in 2009, stands as one of the most haunting and emotionally resonant sci-fi films of the 21st century, yet it was tragically overlooked by the broader audience. The film follows Sam Bell, a man nearing the end of his 3-year stint on a lunar mining station who begins to experience strange occurrences that make him question his sanity and the very nature of his mission. What makes Moon so captivating is its meditative pacing, stunning isolationist atmosphere, and Rockwell's unforgettable, emotionally raw performance. Set against the backdrop of a desolate moon, the film explores profound themes of identity, humanity, and the ethical implications of artificial intelligence. Its minimalist approach, focusing on a single character, an AI, and the vast emptiness of space, creates a deeply introspective experience. Reminiscent of classic sci-fi films like 2001, A Space Odyssey, but with a more personal, intimate twist. Unfortunately, while critics hailed the film as an instant classic, it never garnered the same mainstream appeal as other big-budget sci-fi spectacles of the time. The film's slower, more deliberate pace may have been a turnoff for those expecting more conventional space action or grandiose world-building. Yet Moon is a film that lingers long after the credits roll, posing difficult questions about isolation, self-perception, and our reliance on technology. Its lack of commercial success was a shame, especially given how deeply it resonated with a smaller, more discerning audience. Over the years, Moon has gained a deserved cult following. With many recognizing it as a shining example of emotional depth in sci-fi, one of the 2000s most unforgivably buried gems. The Fountain, 2006.
We're almost there.
Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain stands as one of the most visually stunning and emotionally ambitious sci-fi films of the 21st century. Despite its breathtaking cinematography, intricate practical effects, and haunting score by Clint Mansell, the film remains tragically underappreciated by mainstream audiences. Spanning over 1,000 years, it intertwines 3 parallel narratives that explore love, death, and the eternal quest for immortality. In one storyline, Hugh Jackman plays a 16th-century conquistador seeking the mythical Tree of Life to save his queen. In another, he's a modern-day scientist racing against time to find a cure for his wife's terminal illness. And in the final, he's a space traveler in the distant future, carrying a living tree. The beauty of The Fountain lies in its metaphysical depth, using its non-linear structure to explore complex existential questions. Yet, despite its intellectual richness, the film was met with confusion upon its release. Critics were divided. Some praised its ambition and emotional power, while others dismissed it as pretentious or incoherent. The Fountain doesn't neatly fit into the sci-fi genre, or any genre for that matter, making it harder for general audiences to grasp. Its meditative, spiritual tone, especially when compared to the more action-driven sci-fi films of the era, was a bold departure from the norm. Over time, however, The Fountain has gained a loyal cult following that appreciates its layered narrative and profound emotional resonance. It's a cinematic masterpiece that deserved more recognition and remains an unforgivable oversight in a decade filled with blockbuster, but often less thoughtful, sci-fi films. Equilibrium, 2002. Equilibrium is a powerful yet overlooked sci-fi film that blends action, philosophy, and social commentary. Set in a dystopian future where emotions are outlawed, the government enforces strict control by eliminating anything that might spark human emotion, art, music, and even love through a drug called prosium. Christian Bale plays John Preston, a high-ranking enforcer in this totalitarian regime whose life is turned upside down after he misses a dose of prosium. This triggers a journey of self-discovery and rebellion as Preston begins to question the very system he has long supported. What sets Equilibrium apart from other dystopian films is its raw, gritty approach to action and its exploration of deep philosophical questions. The film's stylized gun-fu combat sequences, where characters engage in acrobatic, martial arts-inspired gunfights, became iconic for their precision and speed. Despite these innovative action scenes and a compelling plot, Equilibrium was largely dismissed by critics and failed to gain significant traction at the box office. However, Equilibrium stands out for its thought-provoking exploration of human nature. It asks difficult questions about the dangers of suppressing individuality and emotion, offering a chilling vision of a world devoid of personal expression. Over time, the film has found a dedicated cult following and is now regarded as one of the most unforgivably buried sci-fi films of the early 2000s. These 15 forgotten sci-fi films of the 2000s deserve more recognition for their groundbreaking concepts, unique storytelling, and emotional depth. Whether overlooked due to their low budgets or complex narratives, they've left a lasting impact on the genre. If you haven't seen them yet, now's the time to rediscover these hidden gems and experience their brilliance.